Hello everybody and welcome back to our Miami Dolphins franchise here on Madden 18. My name is JT Plays and today we are going to break down the bye week for the Miami Dolphins and we're going to take a look at really everything the NFL has to offer so far in the NFL season. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. Let's start with the AFC East. The New England Patriots currently are first at 6-3. The Buffalo Bills are 4-5 in second. The New York Jets and Miami Dolphins are tied for third at 3-7, but the tiebreaker goes to the Jets, at least right now. So, rest of the schedule, what does it look like for the Dolphins? Well, after the bye week, they have the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Then they have the Denver Broncos and New England Patriots at home. Week 13, though, is big because we get Jermon Bushride back, who's been out essentially all year, and Jay Ajayi back, who, again, the same, has been essentially out all year. He got injured weeks 3 to 4. He's been out ever since. So, big decision with him and Damian Williams. Damian Williams has been running the ball really, really well. So week 12 is going to be the icebreaker for Williams. But I expect him to still make a very, very good showing even when he might not start. Then we have the Patriots at home. We have Denver at home. We have the Bills, Chiefs on the road. And then we close it out with Buffalo. So a very, very, very tough second half to the year for these Miami Dolphins. Standings in the AFC East and everywhere else. Let's check it out. In the AFC North, the Cincinnati Bengals are 6-3. They currently lead over the Ravens and Browns. Steelers are last. AFC South, the Jaguars are 6-3. Titans 5-4. Texans and Colts both with 4 wins. AFC West, the Chargers out of LA 7-2. Then the Broncos at 4-5. Chiefs and Raiders at 3-6. On to the NFC, it's the Minnesota Vikings over the Green Bay Packers. Then the Bears and Lions. NFC South, Panthers 8-2, 6-3 Saints, 5-4 Falcons, 4-5 Buccaneers. NFC East 7-2 Philadelphia, 6-3 Dallas. That division looks like it's all but wrapped up between 2 teams, and the Redskins and Giants at 3 wins. NFC West 6-3 Seahawks and Rams, classic NFC West showdown rivalry. 3-7 San Francisco 49ers, 2-6-1 Arizona Cardinals. Best in the AFC, the LA Chargers, then the New England Patriots, then the Jacksonville Jaguars, then the Cincinnati Bengals as your division leaders. The 2 wild cards would be the Tennessee Titans and the Denver Broncos. In the NFC, it would be the Carolina Panthers, Philadelphia Eagles, Minnesota Vikings, and then the Seattle Seahawks as division leaders. Dallas Cowboys, New Orleans Saints as your 2 wild cards. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at some stats so far through 10 weeks of the NFL season. First, let's start with your Miami Dolphins. Matt Moore, who started over Jay Cutler for a while now, he has been not inconsistent, but a little bit above mediocre with touchdown to interception ratio. In 134 pass completions out of 198 attempts, he does have 1,833 yards, but 7 touchdowns to 6 interceptions will not do. Completion percentage is at 67%. He is averaging over 300 yards a game, so that is a plus there. QBR could be a little better. It is only at a 96.2. He is, though, averaging 9.5 yards per throw. His longest throw, 61 yards. He's been sacked 33 times, 6 games played. Those are Andrew Luck numbers, and those are numbers that will get you hurt. He's played over 400 downs so far. Rushing, Damian Williams, 80 attempts, 490 yards. He is explosive out of the stance. 6.1 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns so far. He's averaging at 49 yards a game. He has 1 fumble. He has broken 5 tackles. And he's gone 86 yards after contact. His longest run, 81 yards. And he's over 300 downs played for JJ, who will come back regardless in week 13 against the Denver Broncos. So far, what has he done? 124 attempts, 624 yards, 5 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns, 89 yards a game. Receiving, Julius Thomas leads the way with receptions, but the yardage leader goes to Kenny Stills, 807 yards, 18.8 yards a catch. He's more of our deep threat on a play action pass. 80 yards per game for Stills, 5 touchdowns, and 159 yards after the catch on a run. Devontae Parker, 585 yards, 2 touchdowns, 19 yards again, just like Kenny Stills, and he has 2 touchdowns. Julius Thomas, 529 yards on 46 catches, 11.5 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns. Jarvis Landry, 1 touchdown, 223 on 17 catches. Kevin White, the guy we signed way back in preseason, 1 touchdown, 9.8 yards a catch on 11 targets. Damian Williams, 14 targets, 106 yards, 0 touchdowns. Jakeem Grant, 1 touchdown on 2 targets, 52 yards total. And then Paul Asike, our fullback, we've used him a little. 3 catches, 9 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that is the Miami Dolphins leaders. Let's check out the NFL leaders. So we go to the NFL here, and who is completely dominating? Well, should be no surprise on your top 3, but then it gets a little interesting. We have Aaron Rodgers, 2,962 yards. Tom Brady, 2911. Matt Ryan, 2875. And then you get to Phillip Rivers, Trevor Siemian, Dak Prescott, Blake Bortles, Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, Drew Brees, Andrew Luck, and then Deshaun Kaiser. The Cleveland Brown has made it into the little headway of the NFL in passing. So you gotta give credit where credit's due. Passing, though, your touchdown leader in the NFL right now, Matt Ryan, 25 touchdowns to 8 picks. Then it's Brady, 24-11. Rodgers, 20-8. Phillip Rivers, 20-4. Prescott, 19-8. Bortles, 19-6. Jared Goff, throwing over 2,000 yards, 18-5. And then Drew Brees, 18-9. Rushing leaders in the NFL, it is going to be Ezekiel Elliott, because why would you suspect anyone else? 187 yards, but closely behind is Giovanni Bernard, Darren Sproles, Frank Gore, Doug Martin, Jonathan Stewart, and DeMarco Murray. So these guys have been running their tails off, all well over 700 yards on the ground, and the touchdown numbers, they are piling up. Sproles, Ty Montgomery, 12 touchdowns apiece. D'Angelo Williams on the Colts, 10 touchdowns. Jeremy Hill, Le'Veon Bell, Theo Riddick, LeGarrette Blount, Latavius Murray, Ezekiel Elliott, all with 9 and 8. Receiving leaders. It's very easy to see who the receiving leader is for New England and the NFL. It's Julian Edelman, only guy right now with over 1,000 yards. And Antonio Brown, Devontae Adams, Des Bryant, Kenny Stills is up there. So the Dolphins made a top 5. Golden Tate, Randall Cobb, Corey Davis, the kid from Western Michigan, and then Will Fuller. So, touchdown leaders and receptions. Edelman was 7. You have Des Bryant with 7. You have Julio Jones with under 680 yards, but leads the league in touchdowns with 8. You have Golden Tate, DeAndre Hopkins, Kobe Fleener, Michael Floyd, Michael Thomas, Rob Gronkowski, AJ Green, Kelvin Benjamin, and everybody, it seems like, in the league with 6 touchdowns. Defense wins championships. Who has the most solo tackles and tackles overall? Well, The most solo tackles goes to Alden Smith of the Oakland Raiders, then Justin Lillard, Paul Putzlesny, Bobby Wagner, Gerard Davis, then Luke Kuechly. Tackle leaders as they follow will go to Luke Kuechly with 90, Kyle Van Noy, Alden Smith, Justin Lillard, Paul Putzlesny, and then Cavell Connor. Sack leaders. Who has the most sacks? Well, it's Brandon Graham with 16. Joey Bosa with 13, where he had, I think, 4 or 5 when we played them. Jarrell Casey, Cameron Jordan, William Hayes with 11.5, so he's in the talk a little bit. Ezekiel Ansah, Stephen Tuitt, Elvis Dummerville. That is the stats, that is the standings, that is league leaders. Let's check out yearly awards. We are over halfway in the NFL season. Who's leading what? Well, in the NFL MVP race, Matt Ryan for the Atlanta Falcons is leading Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Blake Bortles, Darren Sproles, Dak Prescott, Trevor Siemian, and Jameis Winston. The only halfback. Hey, he's got to do something special to get up there, right? He's doing something special right now. Coach of the Year, though, currently going to Ron Rivera, and then Doug Peterson, Anthony Lynn, Mike Zimmer, Sean McVay, Doug Marrone, Marvin Lewis, Sean Payton, Jason Garrett, and then Griffin Murphy. In the AFC Offensive Player of the Year right now, it's Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Blake Bortles. Defensive Player of the Year, Joey Bosa, Paul Putzlesny, Jarrell Casey. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Deshaun Kaiser, Deshaun Watson, Nathan Peterman. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Tyus Bowser, Chris Wormley, and Myles Garrett. Best quarterback, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Andy Dalton. Running back, Bell, Terrence West, Giovanni Bernard. Wide receiver, Edelman, Brown, and then Kenny Stills. So we're making a name for Kenny Stills this year. Best O-line, Marshall Yanda, Joe Thomas, Taylor Lewin. D-line, Bosa, Casey, Tuitt. Linebacker, Merciless Rakbo Bowser. DB, Jones, Tankersley for Miami, the kid from Clemson, and then Craig Major. Kicker, Vinatieri, McManus, Nick Novak. In the NFC, we'll quickly go through these best guys. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Ryan Newton-Rogers. Defensive Player of the Year, Brandon Graham, Luke Kuechly, Jerrell Freeman. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Trubisky, McCaffrey, and then Brad Kaya. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Gerard Davis, Solomon Thomas, Monte Nicholson. Quarterback, Matt Ryan, Prescott, Aaron Rodgers. Running back, Sproles, Montgomery Freeman. If you're in the MVP and you're the only running back, you better be leading the best running back in the NFC. Best wide receiver, Des Bryant, Golden Tate, Julio Jones. Best O-line, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, and Andrew Whitworth. Best D-line, Brandon Graham, Cameron Jordan, Elvis Dumerville. Best linebacker, Jerrell Freeman, Parnell McPhee, Luke Kuechly. Best DB, Nickel Roby Coleman, Brent Grimes, Janoris Jenkins. Best kicker, Matt Bryant, Will Lutz, Robbie Gould. And that is all the best of the best players. So far, the Miami Dolphins are 4th in the NFL. They are on offense, and they are 26 on defense. So, with that said, it's going to be a tough part of the second half of the year. But I know these guys can do it. Again, I think I said in the beginning of the year, we're looking at 5-6 wins, and that would be a good record. Obviously, it's not a good record, but the teams we play, we were in games, we blew games up, and guess what? We just have to go through them. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week from Foxborough, where we take on Tom Brady in the New England